Hey, Mr. Pedro, Francis Fitzpatrick here. Just doing a video and talking about the interview that I did with my dad and certain things that I found interesting or like stood out to me and why they stood out to me. Some stuff that really like opened my eye. First of all, I thought this project was like great. It was amazing because yeah, I've talked to my dad. Like, I know my dad. I know, like, all there is to know about him. But I've never really gone this deep and talked to him in, like, this length. And I thought it was very nice to talk to him about it because I learned a lot of stuff from him. And some of the stuff he had to say was really impactful and really helped me. And first thing that I found that was pretty, that like stood out to me was his definition of happiness in life. He defined it as you can you can be happy all you want, but when you start looking at others, that's when happiness like deteriorates or something like that. And I thought this was very interesting because in life, especially now in society, everyone is looking at what's the new best thing, what's this, what's that. And no one really ever takes like a second to look back and be like, this doesn't matter. Like, why should I care what what this person is doing? It doesn't affect me. And the way he said it was, when you start comparing yourself to others, that's when you're like tearing yourself down, because everyone puts a certain image out there of like who they want to be, who this, that, the other. And when you look at other people and you like think, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, you're just gonna make yourself feel worse, and it's just gonna end up making you like feel worse about yourself and think you're worse than you are. And it's just not the case, because we all have certain things that we're better at than others. We're all different, and that's what makes us all unique. So when I asked him, another thing that I found pretty interesting, when I asked him about who his role models were, he said it was his dad. And I found this interesting because I would say my dad is my role model as well. He's the best dad ever, like hands down. He does everything for me. Like, I don't think he's ever missed one of my sport event games ever. Anytime he can help me, he's always trying to help me out. And one thing he talked about a lot in the interview was like quotes, and he like just cited off different quotes. And he does this, he sends me and my brother and my sister as well emails just full of quotes that we should like live by, and like certain things. And I really find these important, because sometimes I take these quotes into account and try and use them in the real world. And a perfect example of this is when my dad was talking about how everyone told Albert Einstein that he was stupid, Michael Jordan, that he wasn't good at basketball, he wouldn't make it. But the thing is, they didn't listen to them. They didn't listen to what people had to say. They stuck to what their plan was, and they kept going. And as we know now, they're the greats, like Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people, Michael Jordan, all that stuff. And just recently, I feel like this year, senior year, I've really matured. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't do my homework. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And I had really bad grades, but this year I really decided to turn it around, because I knew I could do it. Like, people would call me stupid. Like, I had a 1.5 GPA. I would get teased all the time in school. But, like, I didn't let that take me down. I just kept going, and look where I am now. I got into Tulane, my #1 school, very excited about it. And I can't thank anyone else except for my dad, because one thing I had a problem with was I would always tear myself down. I would always think, oh, I'm not good enough, this person's better. And it would just really get into my head, you know? And it would just make me act and feel a certain way. But when I really started to ignore it and became my own person, I really was able to do whatever I put my mind to and anything like I wanted. And another final thing that I found very interesting about my interview with my dad was the way he described being like happiness in life. He described it as like just being content. Like, you don't have to have wealth, like we were talking about in class, first quarter, second quarter. You don't have to have wealth. You just have to have family, friends, this, that, things that make you happy. And if you surround yourself with all those things and cut out all the negativity in life, there's really nothing that can stop you. The sky's the limit, and just keep going. And that's something that I want to live by for the rest of my life, because high school was a screw up for me, but the rest of the world, the rest of my life is full of opportunities, and I can't wait to get out there and just show what I'm really worth. Yeah.